Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again. And we've had a bit of a crazy month here in the month of June for the One Piece card game, because we've had OP11 with the pre-release last week and officially being released tomorrow. And we also have, or actually potentially today as of recording, but we also have starter decks 23 through 28. And I've got two of each here to open up for us. Now, I'm not gonna pain you through the opening of all of this. I just want to show off some of the new cards that are in the starter decks, as well as the extra pack that's inside, and hopefully we get some goodies. But just wanted to make a little short video going over some of the starter decks, and this is the one that I am most excited about, so we're going to start here. Yeah, so Purple Black Luffy has got me absolutely stoked. I am so ready to be playing this deck, but also just playing any Luffy leader in general during this set. Like, it really, this OP11 just has me eating good. I've got green purple Luffy, purple black Luffy, and purple blue Luffy. So I'm just gonna be enjoying my best life and, you know, opening up all the goodies. But standard packaging, it looks like, obviously just getting the good old-fashioned play sheet and everything, but you get the brick as well as the most crumpled. They gotta find a better way to do this. And we get a leader pack in the first one, of course. We get a doll as well as the Gum Gum Red Hawk. So not too shabby, but getting my Jimbei out of the way. And there's always a little pull tab for these on the side. I swear I mess this up almost every time religiously, though, trying to open this. So I might actually just take the easy way out and give it a little... Okay, seems as though this pack is stronger than I am, but we got it. That's crazy. Getting some of these open is insane. Alright, so in the back, you get the 10 non-hollow Dawn cards. So we'll just go ahead and put that to the side. But first of all, the Luffy leader. Absolutely incredible. This looks amazing. I mean, this looks amazing. I love that they keep coming out with cool variations of these leaders in the starter decks. They've been crushing it lately with that. But let's get to some of the new cards. We've got the Nico Robin, 3 cost, 4K counter, or 4K power, 2K counter, with the on-play Dawn -2. Add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn card deck and set it as active. I love that. It's absolutely incredible card for the ramp purpose of this leader, so it works really well with that. But then we have, in my opinion, the most exciting new addition for this deck, being the 6-cost Luffy, the on-play when attacking Dawn -2, and then this is if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn on their field, your Straw Hat Crew type leaders base power becomes 7k until the end of your opponent's next phase, or the opponent's next end phase. And the reason why I think this was actually perfectly balanced was because it's not just a plus 2k. It's actually just a bring it to 7k. So you can play multiple of these on the board. You're not going to be able to use the effect more than once, no matter how many times you try, because it's just going to bring to 7k on the leader. So same result every single time. Love to see it, though. Amazing card. And I think it's going to be very sticky. It's going to be very tricky for a lot of decks to deal with and get rid of. So we also have the 7-cost Soba Mask. So I say 7-cost, but realistically this card is like a 2-cost. Because if you have a Sangoro or Sanji character with 7,000 base power or more, give this character in your hand -5 cost, and then on play return all of your Sangoro or Sanji type characters to the owner's hand. I think this is going to be a really solid anti-Blackbeard tech, but I don't think it's going to be extremely played, at least initially, in the deck. I think this might actually be more of a tech choice based off of how the meta turns out, so pretty interesting. And then the last new addition, or actually no, I'm sorry, there's 2 new additions. 2 more to the deck. You actually only get 2 of the 3-cost Chopper. I think this is a really solid blocker, but 3-cost blocker Chopper with the on-play Dawn -2, rest one of your opponent's Dawn cards or characters with a cost of 1 or less. So it works with the leader effect, but also Amazing blocker, has counter power, and is, yeah, really solid into matchups like Bonnie, any purple deck that is running the, you know, Gum Gum Giant, of course. So really cool idea right there. I think it's actually pretty awesome. I think it works really well in the deck. And then we have the 8-cost General Frankie, which is Dawn -2, give up to 2 of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power for the turn. So not bad, but I don't see this seeing a lot of play, but pretty interesting card nonetheless. Now that's all I wanted to show for the purple black deck, but we still have one more box of it to open, so let's just rip the pack open and call it a day. All right, put that brick there because I know that that'll be the biggest pain to open. All right, come on. I know one of these 12 packs is gonna have a hit in it. All right, I can feel it. I can feel it right now. I know something's gonna have a hit. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something. Whether it's a secret rare or an alt art. We got Carrot. Oh, okay, I called it. Let's go. Let's go. Secret Kobe. Oh, snap. Oh, that's awesome, actually. All right, let's go. That's such value, dude. That is such value. All right, getting the Kobe out of the beautiful early starter deck pack. Cannot be mad about that one bit. That's awesome. Okay. I'm happy. All right, on to the next box. All right, up next, and in no particular order, is Buggy. Just happened to be the next one that I had in the bag. So Buggy does seem to be getting quite a lot of really, really powerful cards for the deck. I actually think that Buggy, without the promo that we were missing here in the West for so long, was basically just a you can't run the deck without that card. But now there are just like some really incredible additions that have been added here. So I think that, you know, Buggy might be very viable based off of, you know, just reading some of the cards that are shown. And I'm excited to see, kind of excited to see where this deck goes. But starting with the pack, of course, God, it's crumpled to hell. You know, it's it'd be kind of funny if I was able to get like a big hit out of one of these packs and it's just like destroyed. Because I have a feeling like that's probably going to be what happens for somebody. You know, it also doesn't help that I'm opening these packs like a jabroni, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So, we had a leader pack in one and a secret rare in the other. So be good to us. Another leader pack, that's fine. Zeus and Prince. All right. God, wish me luck on trying to get this thing open again. We're gonna see if maybe this one's a bit easy. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Yo, that was so much easier. That was so much easier. Oh my god, that was incredible. All right, so we have Buggy. Again, crazy awesome artwork. But the activate main, you may rest 5 of your Dawn cards and trash 1 card from your hand. Play up to 1 cross guild type character from your hand. Pretty solid, especially when there's 10 cost cross guild characters. So pretty insane. But we do have the super rare Crocodile and Mihawk. So an 8 cost 7k that is on play, draw 2 cards and trash 1 from your hand, then play up to 1 cross guild type character with a cost of 4 or less from your hand. Once per turn, if your cross guild type characters would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may trash 1 card from your hand instead. Very nice. So board protection, also being able to cycle cards out of your hand, also being able to play another character to the board. I mean, pretty insane. Pretty insane. Very nice. And it works very well with this 4-cost Buggy. So we have a menacing looking card, by the way. Absolutely menacing. I love how his nose is holographic too. It's actually kind of amazing. But we have a 4-cost 1k counter. You may trash 1 card from your hand and trash this character. If your leader is Buggy, play up to 1 cross guild type character with a cost of 6 or less from your hand. Super solid. Works really well with some of the 6-cost super rare. Oh, what set is it from? OPO 9, I believe. I believe it's from OPO 9. But yeah, works really well for how the deck wants to run, and just being able to, yeah, have some usefulness, especially with the Crocodile and Mihawk there. We also have the Alvida here, the 1k counter, 4-cost 5k. If you have 2 or more characters with a base cost of 5 or more, this character gains +1 cost. So that makes this another 5 cost for your 10 cost buggy, which is really nice. And then on play, if your leader is buggy, you get to draw 3 and trash 2. The draw 3, trash 2 is something that we haven't seen in a lot of colors yet, and just adding that to some of these is really, really insane. We also have a 4-cost 1k, 2k counter here, Kabaji. If you have 2 or more characters with a base cost of 5, this character gains blocker and +1 cost. So very nice. Cheaper blocker, but still getting the 5 cost for Buggy's effect and everything. And then opponent's turn, this character gains +5k, so it becomes a 6k blocker. Very nice. Very, very nice. We also have the Moji, another 2k counter. Same thing. If you have 2 or more characters with a base cost of 5 or more, this character gains blocker +1 cost. The only tricky thing is you can't have multiple of these cards as well as multiple of the Kabajis out on the board, because again, it has to be base cost, not from the effect. And then on KO, if your leader is buggy and you have 3 or less cards in hand, you get to draw a card. So pretty solid. And then just going into some of the already existing cards in the deck that have been out in the game, such as the buggy, but a little bit of reprints of everything. And look at that, the promo buggy, you know, finally accessible for everyone. Finally, you could say that it was off of what was it, that pre-release event, I believe it was, or the sealed battle, but realistically, this card never saw the light of day. So now this card is in the hands of everybody through this starter deck, which I think is really good, and something that probably should have happened a little bit faster, but not too shabby. Let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open, though, and check out what the pack is. All right, got our pack. Hey, you know what? The second box of the last one treated us well, so let's see if this one does. What a weird rip. What a weird rip. Yeah, these are so crumpled, it's kind of hard to rip them open exactly. But we've got Smoker, Randolph, Fishman Island, all the goodies. But let's get to the real good stuff. We've got Gum Gum Jet Gatling, or excuse me, Elephant Gatling, and there is no shot I just pulled that out of a starter. Oh my god. Oh my god. Babe, come here. I've opened like 4 packs, right? I've opened 4 packs, right? Look, all right. So 2 were leader hits, but look at this. I got a secret rare Kobe, right? Pretty good, pretty cool. Cool little card, right? SP Sanji. Oh my god.
That's so cool.
Look at this.
What?
Oh my god. That's ridiculous.
That is so cool.
It's so sick.
That might be the coolest card
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is ridiculously nice. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right.
Sheesh.
Yeah. All right, up next we got Yamato. My god, I can't believe that. All right. This is ridiculous. All right, that's never happened to me before in one of these just pull a pack type deals. I normally get very, very bad luck. So, you know, it all has to come around eventually. So, that's what we take. But yeah. All right, we got Yamato. A couple of great additions here. Some generic additions, but then also some obviously configured to Yamato specifically. So very cool cards that we'll get to show off here. They're Bro, there is no way. I might be the luckiest man to ever live. There is no way that this is happening right now. Okay. All right. Well, this is, you know what's funny is this was supposed to be a video about the starter decks. This is quickly turning into a video about what packs I'm opening from my starter decks. I need to, hold on. We just need to open it. Oh my God, Shirahoshi. That's so sick. That's so sick. What the hell? What is going on? Oh my God. Wait, I got a green-yellow leader in a green-yellow. Wow. I want to go on record and tell everybody right now, though, this is like 1 in a million. There's no way that this is a common occurrence. So, ladies and gentlemen, please be wary. Don't overpay for your starter decks, okay? Because this is not how this will happen normally. I guarantee you the vast majority of people are going to get nothing in their packs out of all 12 boxes if they decide to get 2 of each. I am getting absurdly lucky right now. This is... But awesome new Yamato leader card. Looks super sick. Foiling on this amazing, absolutely incredible. So we'll put that to the side. For those of you that do not know what the leader does, though, I apologize. It is a double attack and then activate main once per turn. If your opponent has 3 or more life cards, 3 or less life cards, give up to 2 rested cards to one of your characters. I'm stumbling over my words because I still can't believe what I've just pulled. This is actually unreal right now. We have 6-cost Kozuke Momonosuke. Your turn, if you have 2 or less life cards, your leader gains plus 1,000 power. Very nice. We like that. A little base 6k for our turn, which is great. Activate main once per turn. You may return 2 total of your currently given Dawn cards to your cost area rested. Yep. And then this character gains Rush and plus 1,000 power during this turn, so it works really well in tandem with Yamato's effect, because Yamato will be able to give the 2 rested to this Rush card. I mean, insanely strong removal piece, but also just a really big body to work with on the board for that turn. We also have the 1-cost Yamato. 1 cost, 0 power, 1k counter. Dawn X2, your turn, this character gains plus 3,000. So can be used if going second as like a, a searcher, which is the on play. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Land of Wano type card with a cost of 2 or more and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of the deck. And by the way, I meant first, excuse me. So you go first, you place something on 3, use leader effect, attached to this. Now you've got multiple swings going at your opponent, which is fantastic. Love to see it. So, really cool. Very, very cool card. We also have the Ashura Doji. If your leader has the Land of Wano type and your opponent has 3 or more life cards, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 5 or less. Actually kind of absurd. Yeah. Actually kind of absurd. It's a really strong removal card, but at the same time, it's stringent on your opponent having 3 or more life. So this will be kind of really good actually into 5 life leaders, but I don't think that this card will be really great into 4 life leaders in particular. I think that first swing is more than likely just going to be taken. But yeah, not too shabby right there. We also have the 2-cost Izo. Dawn X2, this character gains blocker. On play, your Land of Wano type leader gains banish during this turn. I actually forgot about this card. That's actually annoying. Yeah, so very similar to the 2-cost Nami, just being able to give banish and working really well with that. I'm loving that not a lot of these have triggers so far, and I say that as this card does. But yeah, we've got Kinemon. Trigger, if your leader has Land of Wano and your opponent has 3 or less life cards, you can play the card. It's a 4/5 2K. Pretty solid. And then the rest are just added cards from previous sets and all that good stuff. But I mean, ridiculous opening so far. I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm cheating. There's no way this is real. Let me crack open this bad boy though real quick. All right, and we've got starter deck 23 being the Shanks leader. Again, I know that I've seen the artwork for this this leader, and this looks so sick. This looks actually ridiculous. So I love these starter deck reprints, man. They're so cool. They are so cool. Okay, Shanks leader, absolutely super cool. Super cool holo. Looks awesome. It's really neat. But the once per turn, this effect can be activated when your opponent attacks. Give one of your opponent's leader or character cards minus 1,000 power for the turn. So we all know and love Shanks, pretty solid, but it is kind of weird that the cards that they added for this deck aren't really Shanks related. They're more like film, like Uta, it feels like, but nonetheless, still pretty neat. We do have an Uta 6-cost 4K, 2K counter. If you have a character with 10,000 power or more, give this card in your hand minus 4 costs. So this is actually a 2-cost 4K blocker. Yeah, which is interesting. Interesting. I think it has a future, especially as a 2K counter. Any 2K counter is really nice. It's a film card, so I do see the future of film decks being pretty bright with some of the cards that are in the rotation at the moment, but it does need to see a little bit more. So we have a 9-cost 10K Shanks here. If your opponent has a character with 8,000 base power or more, give this card in your hand minus 3 cost, which is actually kind of absurd. So it's a 6-cost Shanks for 10K power, and the on play is if your leader has red-haired pirates type or is Uta, your leader gains plus 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's next end phase. So as we've seen with a lot of future cards that have been announced, but also the cards that are in this set as well as some of these starter decks, it looks as though giving your leader plus 2,000 power in some way, shape, or form is becoming a recurring factor. So that might be kind of where we're headed, especially with the 7K power leader of Gold Roger that was announced at the World Championship. So very interesting that that's kind of the route that they're heading. We also have a 4/5 Ben Beckman with 1K counter. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand. If your leader has the red-haired pirates, KO one of your opponent's characters with a 4,000 base power or less. 2 of in the starter deck. We have the Film Supernova Straw Hat archetype Luffy here, and that's going to be a 1-cost 2K. You may rest 1 of your Dawn cards and this character. Give one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 for the turn. Meh. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Yasop, 1-cost 1K as well. This is activate main. Give one of your rested Dawn cards to your leader or one of your characters. I do like that though. I think that's actually pretty neat. It's kind of like the 1-cost version of Nami. So it's basically a free play and free value every turn. And if you're playing against a deck that really can't remove this, it's just literally free value for the rest of the game. So pretty. I actually really like cards like that. So I think it's really good. But that's gonna wrap it up for the Shanks deck, and I'll go ahead and crack the pack in here really fast. All right, we've got Teach. I think Teach gets a couple of things that I feel pretty excited about. As somebody that I enjoy playing Teach from time to time, but I don't enjoy playing against Teach. I think playing against Teach is extremely annoying, but playing as Teach is very fun. So there are a couple of cards in here that do seem pretty exciting. There's others that I'm not overly excited about, but you know, you never know where it goes. All right, let's see. What are the goodies? First off, we've got the leader. Looks awesome. Nice little hollow to it. Nice little shine. We've got Teach. The on-play effects are negated. Activate main. You may trash one card from your hand. Your opponent's on-play effects are negated until the end of your opponent's next turn. The most unfortunate deck to play against. Kuzan. What an incredible card. This is a ridiculously good card for Blackbeard. A 6-cost 6k with 1k counter, blocker, on KO, play one of your Blackbeard type pirates with a cost of 5 or less from your trash rested. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I mean, you're just bringing back all sorts of things. You're bringing back potentially the 5-cost Kuzan from OP10. You're bringing back the Burgess, of course, uninteractable card basically that is just typically an 8k or higher power. You can bring back your Van Augers. You can bring back blockers such as Katarina Devon or the 2-cost. I'm forgetting its name, but yeah, very interesting. Now, I personally did think that this card was going to be amazing off rip, but after further thought and mostly after listening to people that actively play Blackbeard, I don't think it's going to be bad by any means, but I don't think it's going to be an immediate choice. I think it's more of a choice based off of what is being played in the meta. But we do have the 7/8 Marshall D Teach. You may rest this character, KO up to one character with a cost of 3 or less. So that means you can KO even your own characters, which, why would you do that? Well, some of the cards have on KO draw ones. So really solid right there. On KO, add up to 1 black card from your trash to your hand. Literally any card. Any card. That means this card can actively be played in many decks as well for the future of black. So very, very cool card. But will it see play in the near future? To be determined. We also have the Avalo Pizarro. 1 cost 1k, 1k counter. You may rest one of your full lead cards. If your leader has the Blackbeard Pirates type, this character gains plus 4k during this turn. On KO, draw a card. Interesting. I don't think that it will see a ton of play immediately, but it is a very interesting card nonetheless, because since it's an activate main, if you don't need to search out with your stage, you can arguably just use this as a beater every single turn, and your opponent never wants to attack into it. It just feels like a bad card to attack into. Not only 1, because they get to draw a card, but 2, because they get to do the plus 4k as well. So really solid. And then we have the 1 cost 1k Katarina Devon. This is activate main. You can trash the character. If your leader has the Blackbeard Pirates type, give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn, and then on KO, draw a card as well. So pretty solid. But I think this is the big win from the starter deck here. The San Juan Wolf. If your leader has the Blackbeard Pirates type, this character gains blocker and +1 cost for every 4 cards in your trash. So very similarly to Jesus Burgess, this is, instead of getting power, this is gaining cost. So it's going to be a very tricky card to deal with. But the on play is trash 1 card from your hand. That they added that for a very good reason. So they don't want this card to be played in every other deck or potentially other Blackbeard types or whatever, right? So just getting rid of on-play effects means that that's not going to happen into this deck, but I think it's very understandable why they kind of went that route. So I like that. That's going to be a really good addition for the deck as well. But finished up with Blackbeard here. All right, and the final starter deck being Bonnie. Yeah, they had to make this the most provocative photo they possibly could. But Bonnie, on your opponent's attack once per turn, you may rest one of your Dawn cards, rest up to one of your opponent's leader or character cards. Very annoying deck to play against as well, just because it's constantly dealing with your board, and you know, you can go as wide as you want, but you're not going to be able to get as many attacks through, and then you have to get tall because of Kid, so it gets very annoying. So we do have the 2-cost Kid and Killer, though. I think this card is actually really solid. So 2 cost, 2k, 1k counter. We have look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 supernova type, add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. And then on opponent's attack, you can trash the character and set one of your Dawn cards as active. So there's been a lot of times where for Bonnie, you have to do some play that doesn't net you the availability of leaving a Dawn active. And being able to play this card out in early turns and then being able to eventually trash it and get that Dawn back whenever you need, kind of as a utility, I think is really neat, so that you can get your leader effect off. And I just think it's a really cool idea for the deck, so love that. You also have Law and Beppo. 10 cost, 11k. On play, rest one of your opponent's characters, and that character will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. Then if your opponent has 2 or more rested characters, your leader gains plus 2,000 until the end of your opponent's next end phase. So again, with the kind of recurring theme of bringing leader up by 2k, but another freeze card. You know, I don't hate it. I think that Bonnie's already pretty survivable enough that this felt like it didn't need to be a 10 cost, personally. When I look at this, I don't see the same resourcefulness as maybe some of the other 10 costs like Doflamingo. But it's not bad. It's not bad. I think there's obviously a world where it gets there. It's also a supernova type, so can't really hate it too much. But 2 cost, 1k Capone Beige. Blocker on play if you have 6 or more rested 6 or more rested cards, which that means it could include Dawn cards. Draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your hand. Not bad. Little cycle for a blocker, so pretty decent right there. We also have the 4 cost Basil Hawkins 2k counter. End of your turn, set a Dawn card as active. Only 2 of. And the X-Drake. If your leader has the supernova type, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, then set up to one of your Dawn cards as active at the end of your turn. Also kind of mid, but 2k counter, so we take searchable 2k counters. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the Bonnie deck, and we have one last pack to look over, ladies and gentlemen, so wish me luck. Pretty insane though. I hope that you guys enjoyed just kind of going over, you know, what is in some of these decks, you know, some of the new cards I'm sure many of you have already seen, but also just the fact that I guess you can get pretty lucky in some of these packs. Granted, I still am of the mindset that I wouldn't personally pay over $15 for these packs, just because this is an oddity. This is not going to happen very often, let alone probably at all. I think this is very absurd that I was able to hit this many times. But I'm super excited about building some of the decks included from these starter decks. I know this was a bit of a longer video because I did want to go through each of the cards in each of the packs, but I tried to edit it down to you know, where it felt right. But thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful time enjoying the new starter decks. Peace.